Anyway, but yeah, thanks for that. Go check out Walker and Dr. Kyle Brown's podcast, Old Friends Catch Up. It's really fun, really interesting. I had a great time doing it, so thank you for that. Appreciate that.
Yes. No, thank you. That was incredible.
And we want to talk about... I mean, are we ready to talk about the book, Dubs?
You want to jump right in it?
I mean, man, like we touched on it, but what the hell, Walker, man?
I'm psyched. I'm psyched they arrived too.
You wrote a book.
Thank you for the book too, by the way, bro.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Give us a synopsis about this book.
Yeah, so do we think that Mason Silva is Sodi by the time this comes out? Because if he is,
top of Mason,
if he is, this is his biography.
Oh.
So I'm trying to increase the sales and really, time it right.
Okay, perfect.
Oh wow, I see
But
the
if
timing.
he's not,
now. Okay.
but if he's not Sodi, no, just kidding. It's just a San Francisco adventure story. It's this idea I had kicking around basically like when I was living in San Francisco. Mm-hmm. And, I finally started picking away at it. And, 6 years later, essentially, you're holding it in your hands.
Did you you wrote every word?
Yeah.
Would you say it took you 6 years?
I mean, basically, I feel like I wrote it for like 3 and then 3 or 4. And then it was like 2.5 years of editing. Well, so showing it to somebody, giving me notes, editing it a little bit, showing it to someone else, editing a little bit. I can't tell you how many times I've freaking read that thing.
Right.
It's obscene.
That's what I meant when I said you wrote every word, because maybe I didn't know if you had a partner or somebody that was helping you along and writing stuff with you and because this is gnarly.
David Cole helped you with that for sure.
Yeah.
He just told me from back home.
So it's an adventure story based in San Francisco.
Yeah, so it follows this character, Henry. It's obviously skateboarding related.
Okay, yep. Gotcha.
Henry is he's an ex-aspiring pro. So it's in the world of professional skateboarding. It's kind of like an ulterior universe. There's different big companies and different, big magazines and stuff, but it's still San Francisco. And, he didn't make it as a pro. He's found himself working as a maid in a hotel. And he basically, is hung up on an ex-girlfriend who he's hoping to get back together with. And one thing leads to another, and he just gets into some crazy shit that really can only happen in San Francisco.
Okay.
What?
Right.
Are some of the ideas that you came up with that, in your everyday life or some of your fellow skater friends' everyday lives evolve into the book?
Definitely. I mean, it's everyone is basically like a composite character. So a little bit of this guy, a little bit of this guy, different situations, not necessarily that I have experienced myself, but that I've sort of watched my friends through or talked about them through or just even observed. There's for example, there's kind of a superstar skater character.
Thank you for writing me into the book.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, bro.
Chris,
what chapter
you write
is that? Oh.
It's been fun showing it to skaters and having them read it and be they're speculating on who it is. There isn't one person. Yeah, but I'm not giving anything.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
No, I gave it away. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So you don't allude to who it is, or maybe you gave him a fictional name.
Well, see, my point is that it isn't anyone specific. It's
Gotcha.
a little bit of this guy, a little bit of this guy,
sprinkles.
Sprinkles.
Yeah. So it's fun to see, what people will take away.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's all fiction. It's made up and but it's based in.
How do you put together a storyboard like that, dude? When you go into it, do you have it kind of built out and then it just changes over time?
It all kind of started with a short story idea. I mean, I wanted to develop it into a full novel. I mean, first of all, I love movies. I love long form TV shows, and I've never seen a movie or watched a show that, in my opinion, really brought to life our weird, fucked up industry in a way that felt true, in a way that, especially contemporary times, with Instagram and YouTube and weird, just ego that can only exist with our current time.
Right.
And, I was like, I'm not going to make a movie. I'm not going to do these things, but I love books. I come from a family of writers. I'm just going to try to write something. And
Amazing.
like, Kelly, to answer your question, like, I used to think like that was impossible. Like, how do you make up a storyline like from nothing? A lot of people write novels, but they're sort of like thinly veiled autobiographies. It's like really their life and their story. But this one is really just a series of situations that I made up. But it started with just a story that I wanted, a short story that was like A to B. Like, how does a skater working in a hotel room end up here? And then I just kind of expanded it. And it's like, it's a fun process. Like, you'd be surprised how much you can just write in your head. Just in your head. Like, you give little, like, if I'm driving and I just don't feel like worrying about my own problems, I just start worrying about these characters' problems. Like, and then the moment you have like some free time, I like write it down. But it's really just like happening in your head.
That's my problem is I can have this whole thing in my mind ready to go. I can formulate it in my head. And as soon as the paper's there and I'm holding a pen, I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like it's gone. I can't put think thought to paper.
I'm the same way.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Sure. I know this might be a silly question. What dictates a novel? Like, is it based on pages or is it like?
Usually it's a certain length. Okay. Like, there's a novella, which you've probably heard, and you're like, what is that? Like, just like a girl version? But it's like, it's usually shorter, so it's like under a certain word count, I want to say, or length. But I don't really know. I'm no expert. I mean, I definitely did my like Googling, like, what page length determines a novel? And I feel like I was very like,
I heard it before, but then I was like, wait, is it the number of words or is it the number of pages? Like, so
I had no idea.
Yeah,
I like reading books that are based contemporary novels, meaning like they're based in sort of our world, not like fantasy or anything too out there. Right. I just think skateboarding is such a cool setting for that. And it's definitely not like, it's not the athlete's journey type of story. It's weird. Skateboarding is just the backdrop. It's the vehicle for the story that I wanted.
Right. Amazing.
Because I've skated with you for so long, but like, we all get frustrated trying tricks. Was there parts of the book where you felt frustrated on where to move to next?
Where I wanted to like focus my computer?
Seriously.
I'm just like, I can only imagine you being, because I know that you really hone in on that stuff and and you want to make it the best, but I couldn't even imagine doing it myself. I wouldn't know what to do.
Oh my god!
What was that like? Like, how do you manage through that?
Yeah, that's a good question, because like there were times that I was super frustrated with the story or just felt like it wasn't working, but I can't really remember specific moments. There's just like I felt like there would be periods of time where I was stuck with it, like, this is like a plot hole, it doesn't work, it doesn't make sense, and I would just kind of like put it on ice, and then I feel like what would usually happen is something would happen in my like travels or with my friends, and it would be like, that's how that worked. That's how that should be resolved, or something like that.
Your real life answered the question.
Right.
It's like you're playing solitaire, then you're stuck, and then something random happens. You're like, I got it, dude. Like you can move, you can do something. That's kind of that's awesome.
Man, that's incredible, bro. Congratulations, man.
Yeah,
listen, this is a novel, and you did it. Like, it's crazy. I can't even imagine.
How did you come up with the name?
Top of
Mason. So the story all sort of revolves around this street in San Francisco called Mason Street. And you'll just have to read and find out.
Okay. Well, how does it end? Just give us a cliff. Just give us a cliff notes. No, you don't want to do. Okay, we won't do that then.
Yes.
Congratulations.
No, seriously.
Dude, definitely congrats.
Seriously.
You,
And if you do want some, sitting here, I was actually thinking, because we were joking earlier about me reading the book on tape or whatever, but I did get hit up a lot. And like sitting here thinking, amazing. I'm like, these people who do these book on tapes, audibles and stuff like that, like, do you know how long it would take me to read this book into a recorder? Like
takes
it's
so
crazy.
long to read.
And then
it takes so
edit
long
that?
to read a book.
Yeah, in general. Yeah.
And when you're reading, you're skimming, you're reading fast. Like
Totally.
I can't imagine. And like they must have to script it out a little bit because they'll do voices. You know, that book. This book has
Exactly.
it has a lot of dialogue.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of characters and it's just a lot of talking. And that's why I say it's a very easy read because I'm not trying to win any literary awards. You know, I'm not trying to like do anything that's just too heavy and like, oh, I'm taking myself so seriously. Like I want it to be fun, engaging, and just like flow through, you know?
Well, I mean, in skateboarding, you might have won the literary award because
Yes.
there's no other skaters doing that.
Yes.
Which is
No,
awesome.
this dude's out there. You know, Evan Scheffelbein wrote a cool little book.
Really?
I can't. I feel like I've seen him describe it as a novella because it is shorter, but I don't. Again, like I bought it at a skate shop honestly, and was like, "Whoa, this is cool!" And it's based in, you know, it has like a little skate story too.
That's awesome.
Well, Carl
So, yeah,
Watson did
it's-
his skateboard book
he did.
too.
Yep,
That's a
Carl-
book I read. I read that book.
I read that book.
Did
too.
you read that?
I did. I did.
Did
I
you
read
help
it to
him
my
with?
son though.
Did you help him with that one too?
No, I didn't. I mean, he actually did show me a draft at one point. And I was like, "Oh, this is awesome, dude! You got to do it." But I feel like it was different than what he ended up publishing. But he was telling me about it, and I was so psyched because I was like, "Yes, dude, a kid's book needs to happen."
Super cool.
And can you just download this to like a Kindle or like the book?
You will be able to soon.
Oh, okay.
For the first month, I thought it'd be kind of special for everyone to like get a physical book, you
Right.
know, and like
How do they get it?
it's
Barnes and Nobles?
no, I'm just selling it through Old Friends.
Oh, so you got a bunch printed, sent to you.
Well, no, you know what's amazing? I didn't even do that. I did for a test run just to like see and to send to some friends, but it's a print on demand thing. So it's like people click a button and then it gets made.
Wow,
That's good
Yeah.
because this
Super
is good
sick.
quality.
This company nails it, and it's so it makes it's really empowering because you know it's hard to break into the book world and like
This
get
day and
a
age.
proper get a proper publisher and this is really puts it into the hands of like, you know, you Chris, your little
That's
story,
super
dude.
dope.
Just write it, put it out. Why
That's
not?
super dope. Are they local?
Yeah.
Or are they like?
I actually don't know where they're based. I feel like they have printers everywhere because I'm able to print it all over the world, and the shipping is super cheap. So I'm assuming that they can print them like in Canada or like in Europe.
Amazing.
Then it's
I mean, that's because you don't have to have anything on hand. You just somebody orders it, they print on demand, and boom, they get Walker Ryan's
Wait, and then
book.
what's the turnaround?
it's pretty fast. I mean, everything was under 2 weeks, depending on like the
Wow.
shipping.
That's super sick.
Good deal.
Listen, an Audible is instant.
We're gonna talk business after.
I'm just
this.
saying, man. I can do voices too if you want. Hey, a man shouted inside the room. We're still in here. Sherry shut the door and turned to Henry. She put a hand over her mouth. You know what I mean? Like,
Or you get
Change
Morgan
the tones
Freeman.
a little bit.
gotta
Morgan
change-
Freeman.
Morgan
good.
Freeman is the go-to.
Yeah,
Jeez.
you got to get Morgan Freeman, dude.
yeah, Kelly, I'm trying to get a gig here.
I'm sorry, dude. Morgan Freeman might be a better option. So-
Okay, if Walker Ryan could get Morgan Freeman to read his Audible book, I'll let that go.
I won't put it
okay?
past him, dude. Won't put it past him.
Yeah, I might have to retract
well,
on that.
If you want me to read it in like a Matthew McConaughey kind of vibe, I could do that too, man.
No, there's a lot packed in there, you know, and
Yeah.
it's fun. Like even Kelly, like when I first started writing it, you know, the character is I don't want you to take this the wrong way. But it was like a little bit inspired initially by sort of the kind of like the weird predicament you were in, like in, you know, 2014, which is like you are a pro skater, but you didn't get that fucking board at the time. You know what I mean? Like towards the end of the expedition days. And it's like, that's like a fucking weird thing, you know, like you were a pro skater like before I even got on KO, but you didn't like have the board. And then what is that? It's like a weird spot to be in when you're, you know, like 29, 30 years old. Like I'm so psyched everything like happened the way it did for you, you know, and like getting the board and like, it's like, yes, dude, it's fucking,
I mean, thank you.
deserved, but-
Thank you so much. And it's like, it's something that happens to a lot of other people too. Like, you know,
well, that's what I'm saying. Like it wasn't you that the character's based on or anything, but that situation, which is like happens to so many people.
No, it's common.
And so that's like the
is.
character, you know, only it like he's slipped away. So it's like now it's that thing that like passed. You know what I mean? Like, so there's just a lot of that, you know, where it's like, oh, what's like my friend feeling, or what that's like to go through. Like, I want to kind of imagine.
You know what's gonna be funny, because I am gonna read this book, and there's two reasons: to see what you did, because I want to hear the story, but who you're referencing in this book is what's gonna make me laugh harder, because I might know who you're talking about in certain things.
Yeah, for sure.
But
yeah, because you've been around my crew of friends, you know, like
totally.
we had like a wild group of guys. We all have as skateboarders, you know. There's so many cool personalities in skateboarding and such a diverse collection, you know.
Totally.
Whether if they're like pros, big pros, or just like the homie, like there's so many good characters out there. They're
Exactly.
just
The surrounding homies definitely are like the really colorful.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Totally.
Yeah.
We got our homie Hank down. Where is he back up north now?
No, he's still in San Diego.
He's still in San Diego. Man, we live with this guy, Hank Teskey, dude. One of the funniest guys I've ever met, but I met him through Walker.
Yeah.
But like, dude, he was the homie, always hung out, but you never saw him in the videos, really. He was just always, he was always around doing his thing.
Yeah. But he's like the one that made that day so memorable.
Yes.
For whatever clip that that happened. You know, he's like that kind of person. And
Exactly.
every crew has that kind of, you know, has a Hank and has like,
Oh,
yeah,
totally.
so there's a lot of that in there.
Man, I think I'm reading a sex scene right here, bro. This is good, man. Wow.
Yeah, it's not exactly
PG.
it's definitely not PG, maybe not even PG-13 if we were going to put some rating.
Well, the next one is R-rated.
Rated R.
Wait, can we make a movie?
NC-17. No, NC-17.
Let's make this into a movie, dude. It's the next thing, you know. It's kind of like Hank Moody. You know, you get that book and put it into a movie.
You know what? I'll slide this in front of Spike.
Spike
Slide it in front of Spike. We'll see what we can do.
Listen, Spike Jonze, Morgan Freeman, goddamn, I have no chance whatsoever to do anything with this goddamn book.
Come on.
God.
We're reaching for the stars here, aren't we?
That is true though, that people have hit you up to do books and stuff, because I've never thought about that, but you would be amazing at
See,
that.
that's what and we joke about it on the show.
Literally, I thought you were joking.
No, people have hit me up.
I could have sworn that I was the one that said that. I was like, Chris, I think you'd be good at audiobooks.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
you said that, I thought you were, obviously maybe you were serious.
I know, I kind of was. To be honest, dude, I kind of was.
Amazing.
No, because I always get
No.
it because like I always get
You
comments
have a
like,
soothing
your
voice. Let's
Not
just
that
say
you
it's
wouldn't.
It's a
at
very
all,
soothing
but I thought you were
voice, yeah.
joking.
No, I'm dead serious.
That's amazing.
Right.
I love it.
People wanted me to do voiceover work.
Maybe novellas, the shorter versions.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Let's start with some novellas, dude.
Morgan
I don't wanna-
Freeman could do this book on your next novella. I'm available.
There you go.
I don't want you to get stuck at page 180 and be like, I can't fucking finish this thing, man. I can't. do
Dude,
it.
page 180. Try page 1. That's how hard it is, bro. It's like, whew, man, I don't know. It's
For the crew, I got my money on Roger though to finish it first.
yeah, you actually
We'll see.
wrote that in the thing. Hope you enjoy the story, Chris. Thanks for everything, Walker. And then in Roger's book it says, "Hey, Raj, you're probably the only one who's going to read this. So thank you so much."
That's amazing.
Yeah, man.
We'll see. Prove
No,
me wrong.
I will prove you wrong,
That's-
and I'm going to
that's so
record
good.
every word of it.
That's so good.
Okay, and we're going to put this on Audible.
Yes.
Oh wait, what did mine say? I haven't looked at it yet. Oh, it just said Kelly, and that's it.
This is Kelly.
Oh wait, Kelly, hope you like it, Walker.
Mine's at the house already.
Congratulations, bro.
Yeah, that's awesome.
definitely
Thank you. I
a
really-
feat that not many people can accomplish.
But anyone could. I mean, that's like the
I
other
beg to
empowering
differ.
thing about this. No, really. Like you come up with some goofy ideas, dude. You can.
But here's the thing. Okay, maybe people can do it, right?
Yeah.
But is it going to be good enough where people will buy it and read it?
I'm still testing that. You know, some people are buying it, but let's see if they read it.
There you go.
Listen, and that's the only thing, right? You just listen, put it out there. I wonder, have you
That
even?
was the big leap of faith because it's like super nerve wracking. I mean, there's a lot of like sharing going on in this thing that's like, whoa, do I want to put this out there? But
Nah, you
at
got
least
to.
I
You
got
have
it
to.
copy edited. It's clean. That was like
Yeah.
my main thing. Like I don't want to have like errors and issues that like turn off a reader. But
All joking aside about the Audible stuff, have you even looked into that aspect of it? Like, are there companies out there that will put together like a reading of the book for Audible?
I honestly kind of haven't, because I sort of assumed that that's something that you do through that a publisher like really lines up. But
Gotcha.
But I mean,
there's got to be.
There's got to be. I mean, why not DIY it? You know, you can like find a friend who can record it. And like I have talked with my.
You just wink at me. You just wink. Find a friend that could record it. No, but I feel like there are those. I feel like there are, because I just think that's a good step. Right?
Yeah.
Let's put the book out, then do an Audible.
Yeah. No, I mean that's
version.
the ultimate, because I love audiobooks. And
Man,
you know, my
good.
my grandmother has published a bunch of novels. Mm-hmm. That's been her career. Amazing. And she had one of her books recently turned into what Audible does. Also, it's these Audible originals where they have like actors play the characters. Okay. And it's super cool. It's like listening to a movie or something like that.
It's almost like old school radio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where they would have the little sound effect guy, and they'd have the two people acting out the scene and stuff. And people gather around the radio at night, you know?
Yeah, not a lot of people know about that era. Like that is like a part of our...
It was an era.
It's part of our podcasting history, you know?
I don't know anything about that era. Raj has told me a lot about it, but he's...
a lot.
No, seriously, though, you can get it on Old Friends.
Yeah.
Oldfriends.com. Is that the website?
Old Friends and Co.
Oldfriendsandco.com. You want to check out Walker Ryan's book, man.
Thank you.